for all of us here at Sherri. And I know that you have seen the news, and I'm ready to address it. Our show has not been renewed for another season. And I wanna say to y'all, everybody, y'all try not to faint or fall out, because healthcare is expensive and none of us have it anymore. So y'all, no, people don't understand when we are in power, the battles we gotta fight that you will never know.
Word on the street is that Wendy Williams might be plotting a major comeback to daytime TV, and it could be happening sooner than anyone expected. Reports are swirling that producers have their eyes locked on Wendy and are already in talks with her for a 2026 return. The timing couldn't be more dramatic. She's expected to finally be released from her conservatorship as early as next month. But here's where things get really wild. Sherri Shepherd's sudden cancellation might not just be about Wendy swooping back in to reclaim her throne. Something about this whole situation feels a little too convenient, don't you think? Why is Sherri getting so emotional about it all? What's really happening behind the scenes? That's exactly what we need to dig into. Statement said, Sherri will continue as planned, with the series airing its final episodes in the fall. This decision is driven by the evolving daytime television landscape and does not reflect on the strength of the show, its production, or the incredibly talented Sherri Shepherd. We believe in this show and in Sherri, and intend to explore alternatives for it on other platforms. Now that all sounds polished and professional. But let's be real, things in this industry are never that simple. When a show with strong momentum suddenly gets axed, you know there's a bigger story brewing behind closed doors. Something's up, and the timing, way too suspicious. What's really wild is that Sherri's show was actually doing well. The ratings were solid, the production was tight, and it wasn't even losing money. So what on earth went wrong? The first red flag? People found out about the cancellation through an article instead of from Sherri herself. That felt super suspicious. I mean, this is a talk show where the host is literally on air every single day. Shouldn't she have been the one to break the news? Fans were quick to point out that Kelly Clarkson got the chance to personally announce the end of her show on the very same day Sherri's cancellation was revealed. So why wasn't Sherri given the same respect? It's giving something's not adding up, and people aren't buying the clean PR version. Then came that emotional moment Sherri had on air, the breakdown that had everyone talking. It happened when she was discussing Tyra Banks and America's Next Top Model. And let's be honest, Netflix dropped that new documentary that felt like it could have been titled Surviving Tyra Banks, because it was exposing all the behind-the-scenes chaos from the show. Tyra had already been canceled once back in 2020, and this new series just reignited all the old drama, dragging her name through the mud all over again. And right in the middle of that media storm was Sherri Shepherd's show. She'd invited some of the former ANTM judges to her platform, stirring up all kinds of conversation. But here's the twist. Even before the doc dropped, Sherri had defended Tyra, saying that when Tyra first pitched America's Next Top Model, she was just a young Black woman trying to survive and make her mark in a ruthless industry. It's like Sherri tried to show empathy, and somehow that backfired in a major way. Sherri's whole argument was that Tyra actually fought to make America's Next Top Model inclusive, pushing for diversity long before it was trendy. She highlighted how Tyra made sure there were Black, Latina, and plus-sized women on the show, even when the fashion industry was still stuck on one look.
Said you're cognitively impaired and you're incapacitated.
Do I seem that way?
No.
You've been calling me 5 times a day for the last 2 weeks. No, you don't seem that way.
How dare, excuse me, who I naturally am is who I naturally am, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Yes.
And my niece knows all about that crap. I mean, I'm sorry. I apologize.
Sherri pointed out that back then, there wasn't social media to hold people accountable, no mental health support, and definitely no intimacy coaches for contestants. It was a completely different era, and Tyra was trying to survive in it. She even gave Tyra props for paving the way for models like Isis King, the transgender trailblazer, and Winnie Harlow, who proudly represented people with vitiligo. According to Sherri, Tyra opened doors that weren't even built yet. Still, she admitted that Tyra should be held accountable for how contestants were treated. But she also got emotional, saying it was a different time back then, and people just don't understand what it takes to stay on air. And honestly, when you really listen to Sherri's words, she does make sense. But when you play that clip again, after knowing her show's been canceled, it hits totally different. Some people say she wasn't just defending Tyra. She was speaking for herself. It's like she was sending a message that we have no clue what talk show hosts go through behind the scenes. She hinted that people like her are always being forced to choose between what's right and what keeps them in the spotlight. That's why some believe Sherri's cancellation wasn't about ratings or format. It was about power. There's talk that she might have refused to play the game, and in this industry, that's a dangerous move. People online are convinced they shut her down because she kept things too real and too positive. And not everyone in show business likes that kind of light shining too bright. Let's be real. This world thrives on drama and toxicity, not peace and positivity. But hold up, because that's not the full story. After digging a little deeper, I came across some serious tea. And it's messy. Word is, Sherri's split from the production company wasn't as friendly as they tried to make it seem. Allegedly, Sherri was expecting a major pay raise and had already started demanding some big changes to the show. She reportedly wanted to work less but get paid more, pushing to cram extra episodes into fewer filming days so she could chase her acting goals on the side. Insiders say the relationship between Sherri and Debmar Mercury, the same company behind Wendy Williams' old show, started going downhill sometime last year. Even though the show was still pulling solid numbers and making money, reports claim that her contract was quietly canceled on purpose. Sources say Sherri was completely blindsided and devastated when the news broke. She thought she was about to lock in a long-term renewal and a nice paycheck for season 5. Now here's where it all ties back to Wendy Williams, and it's about to get juicy. Allegedly, Debmar Mercury made the bold move to bring Wendy back by popular demand. Apparently, Wendy's been doing much better health-wise and could be ready to return full-time to TV by 2026. Producers have supposedly been testing the waters to see if audiences are still craving that Wendy-level daytime spice. And the data says yes. Sure, Sherri's ratings were solid and the show wasn't tanking financially, but behind the scenes, the numbers showed she just wasn't dominating daytime the way producers were used to when Wendy was running the show. They wanted explosive TV, and it looks like they're betting on Wendy to bring that fire back. Producers are reportedly desperate for a massive revenue revival, and they're convinced Wendy Williams is the one who can bring that fire back to daytime TV. They know Wendy's name still carries serious weight, the kind of buzz that gets people talking and advertisers lining up. And according to insiders, the plans for her big return already sound extravagant. Word is Wendy has already chosen a stunning 3-floor penthouse apartment, complete with its own elevator, so she can move around comfortably despite her ongoing battle with lymphedema. And get this, production is allegedly footing the entire bill for the place. But that's not all. There are even rumors that she'll have a custom-made mechanical purple chair designed to glide her right onto the stage each episode so she won't have to walk out. A glamorous, iconic entrance made just for her. Insiders say production is going all out to make sure Wendy's health and comfort come first this time, but not without a few serious conditions. Allegedly, she'll have 2 full-time personal drivers, available for both work and personal use, plus a private chef and life coach dedicated to helping her maintain her sobriety. In return, Wendy has reportedly agreed to both random and scheduled testing to keep everything in check. But wait, the tea doesn't stop there. Rumor has it that Wendy also negotiated a one-time multi-million-dollar payout from Debmar Mercury to make up for how abruptly she was removed from her show before. That's right, she's getting compensated for the way things went down, and honestly, it sounds like she's taking back control one smart move at a time. And if you've been following Wendy lately, you already know she's been fighting to rebuild her life. She's publicly questioned why she's still under guardianship since 2022, especially after scoring perfectly on 2 separate capacity evaluations. Despite passing those tests, she's been stuck waiting for another cognitive evaluation that her guardian, Sabrina Morrissey, reportedly oversees. In recent interviews, Wendy hasn't held back. She's been vocal, confident, and determined to prove she's ready to reclaim her throne. Wendy's been loud and clear about wanting her power back, her money, her choices, her life. She's spoken openly about reclaiming control, and that honesty has sparked huge conversations online. One of the first major interviews she did after breaking her silence was, of course, with The Breakfast Club, where she made it known that she's ready to step back into the spotlight and do things her way. And make no mistake, Wendy's comeback energy is real. Her fans are hyped and rallying behind her like never before. Some are even saying they don't feel a bit sorry for Sherri Shepherd, especially because many viewers still believe Sherri played a sneaky part in Wendy losing her show and time slot. That rumor never really died down, and it definitely didn't help that one of the first things Sherri did after landing her own show was fire Wendy's longtime producers, David Perler and Suzanne Bass. According to reports, that decision came straight from Sherri herself, and that's when things started getting messy.
To keep a show on the air, there are things that we have to do that people will tell us, if you want to stay on the air, this is what you got to do. And we got to weigh the options. And sometimes we make bad decisions and we look up and we go, in hindsight, maybe I should not have done it. But I just want to open the door and give a platform to people who look like me.
She then brought in her close friend John Murray, who was not just a colleague but her rock, her prayer partner, and her most trusted confidant. But soon after he joined, the behind-the-scenes vibe reportedly turned toxic. Crew members said John's ego was out of control. He allegedly yelled during meetings, belittled staff, and created a super tense environment where even Sherri's dressing room felt like a war zone. Insiders described the atmosphere as chaotic and draining. People on set claimed John Murray constantly pushed his own agenda, dragged Sherri into unnecessary drama, and turned co-workers into rivals. The tension got so bad that when he finally left, staff members were literally celebrating, saying it felt like they'd been freed. One insider even said he poisoned the whole room. And now, with Sherri also stepping away from the show, it's like the whole operation has come full circle. The same place where Wendy once reigned might be getting cleared out for her return. The stage that once caused chaos could soon belong to its original queen again. And everyone's watching to see if Wendy really takes it back. A lot of people online aren't holding back. They're straight up saying, "Good riddance! Bring Wendy back already!" The crowd is clearly divided, but one thing's for sure. The demand for Wendy's return is loud. Still, there's a little snag in this comeback story. If Wendy steps back onto daytime TV, she might have to start paying alimony to Kevin Hunter again. Yup, that divorce clause still stands. The agreement says Wendy only has to pay Kevin as long as she's actively working in television. That's exactly why she'd been exploring other lanes like radio and podcasts. It gave her freedom without opening that financial door again. But if she signs a new TV contract, that means those checks might start rolling his way once more. But come on, this is Wendy Williams we're talking about. She's never one to walk into a situation unprepared. If she's really coming back to TV, best believe she's already got a master plan tucked up her sleeve. Maybe a renegotiation? Maybe a loophole? You know Wendy always finds a way to flip the script in her favor. So what do you think? Could Sherri's exit have been a calculated move to make room for Wendy's return? Have you noticed how suspiciously timed all this is? And most importantly, do you think Wendy's really ready to reclaim her daytime crown? Drop your thoughts, like, share, and comment, because this story is just getting started.